Okay, let's take a look at quick, just some more advanced problems here. I noticed that some of you were struggling on your first assignment with some pretty big misconceptions. So let's take a minute and kind of run through a more advanced problem so you can kind of put this in your head clearly. Okay, so there's two rules. Remember, there's the product rule, which is when I have like terms, I'm going to add my powers. So this would be x to the 5, okay? Now, the only thing that changes if there's numbers or coefficients is the coefficients are going to multiply. So 3 times 4 would give me 12. So I'm multiplying the big numbers and adding the powers, okay? Now, that is different than if I have something raised to a power, like this one. So in this case, I multiply the powers. So that would be 2 to the third power, 1 times 3, and x, 2 times 3 is 6. And then this evaluates, remember, that is not 6. 2 times 2 times 2, that is 8. So that would be 8x to the 6. Okay, so now when we have more advanced problems like we have up here, this is a multi-step, okay? So you're always going to deal with the parentheses first. So the first thing I'm going to do is distribute all the way through. And remember, there's a 1 here. So 1, 2, 3, 4 terms here. And there's a 1, and 1, 2, 3, 4 terms there. That's the first thing I have to do. So 2 times 3 is 6. A, 3 times 3 is 9. B, 1 times 3 is 3. And C, 2 times 3 is 6. And that is step 1 on the left side. Now, same thing on the right side, except for I have a negative. So I need to realize that this negative, we're going to have to use parentheses when I evaluate that. So negative 2 to the 4th. A, 1 times 4 is 4. B, 3 times 4 is 12. C, 4 times 4 is 16. Okay? So that's step 1, is go ahead and distribute across. Now, step 2 is to put your like terms together. Okay? So I want to start with my A's. And remember, now I'm adding because I have nothing that's a distribution. So A, there's a 9 and a 4, and I'm going to add those. So 9 plus 4 is 13. The B's, I have 3 plus 12, that is 15. And the C's, I have 6 plus 16, which is 22. So I know what my variables are, okay? The next piece I have to deal with are my numbers. Those are my numbers. So I actually need to realize what's happening here. So these are multiplied, okay? Those are multiplied. So negative or positive 3 to the 6th power, remember that is 3 times 3 times 3 times 3, that's not 18. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. Okay, there's 6 of them. That is 729. Okay, that's 729. And then negative 2 to the 4th power. This is another issue that we were having. So a bunch of you were just putting this in the calculator just like this. And you were coming up with a negative number. Now think about that, because if I have 4 negatives, negative and negative is a positive, negative and negative is a positive. That is not going to be a negative number. That is going to be a positive number. So negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2 is going to give me a positive 16. Okay, so I'm still multiplying. I am still multiplying these numbers. So 729 times 16, 729 times 16 brings me to 11,664. So this answer is 11,664, A13, B15, C22. Okay, so you have to deal with those numbers kind of separately than everything else. All right, let's take a look at a fraction one. because we had some issues with that. So remember, we're always going to distribute first. And I have to remember that everything on here has a power. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 terms here. 5 different items or 5 different powers that I need to distribute the 3 to. Okay, so 3, 1 times 3 is 3. X, 2 times 3 is 6. Y, 3 times 3 is 9. Divided by 5. 1 times 3 is 3. W, 4 times 3 is 12. Okay, so I'm close to being done. I just have to evaluate these numbers. So 3 to the third, remember that is not 3 times 3, that is 3 times 3 times 3, which is 27. So across the top, I have 27x6y9. And 5 cubed, that's 5 times 5 times 5, which is 125 times 5, or 25 times 5, which is 125. W12, and that is finished, okay? That is finished. So hopefully that makes a little bit more sense. I want you to, if you didn't do well on day 1's assignment, I want you to go back and do some corrections there and resubmit. And then we're going to keep moving and move into division.